musical is Frank Merriwell. And Frank Merriwell closed on opening night in 1971. And the show is based on the all-American dime novel series that was published between 1896 and 1916. The book's about a popular, patriotic, sporty, honorable youth hero, sold more than 500 million copies.
500 million? It was super popular.
Yeah. Now, in the musical, Frank went to college, fell in love, and saved the world from being destroyed by a bomb during the Spanish-American War.
Frank Merriwell, this is fascinating, was part of a new initiative on Broadway called the Limited Gross Contract. A special contract was created with the unions where shows would pay everyone less, but they would also sell tickets for far lower prices, and they were limited as far as the total box office gross they could take in each week. This was created to try to bring patrons back to the theater during a dark time, but it didn't quite work. All orchestra seats to Frank Merriwell were $5, and the box office wasn't allowed to take in more than $25,000 per week. This, unfortunately, made people think that the show was cheap and scared them away. It's not cheap. Look, it's fake Susan Stroman. That looks like Susan Stroman.
The musical was supposed to be a friendly homage to the wholesome American times depicted in the novels, and was directed and choreographed by Neil Kenyon, who also did Dames at Sea. But Frank Merriwell was unfavorably compared with that show. Clive Barnes wrote, "Frank Merriwell is a musical, even though the music is the least admirable aspect of a moderately deplorable venture. This is the kind of music that if you came out of the theater humming it, you would never notice."
Among the show's stars were Larry Ellis as Frank, who was also a co-author of the show under the name Larry Frank, Neva Small, and stealing the show as the villain, Bill Hinnant, who had gained fame as the original Snoopy in You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. As the 7-year-old town newsboy Tad Jones was 8-year-old Gary Stevens. Now, before we welcome Gary to the stage, I want to play you a little clip of Gary at age 8 in Frank Merriwell. Here to share a story and a song from Frank Merriwell, welcome Gary Stevens.
I was 8 and I'm 54. I'm here. That's amazing. I can't believe that. That just brings so many memories. But I have to tell you, one night, in the few performances that we had, one night when I was singing that song on stage alone, pieces of the set behind me were falling down. I kid you not. And as I look around here, I think I'm safe. I don't see a set. So a little background, I was 8 years old. I had already been a working actor. I was doing commercials and industrials, and voiceovers and such. And I got to make my Broadway debut. And I was excited because I had a big part, I had a solo, I had a dressing room. I mean, wow, I shared a dressing room with Walter Bobbing. How cool is that? But all around me, in the theaters all around me, were the most legendary shows of Broadway. This was the era. I was surrounded by No No Nanette, and Follies, and Company, and Applause, and Man of La Mancha, the original Fiddler on the Roof. I mean, these shows were amazing. And I just felt, wow, Frank Merriwell didn't have a life. It had such a short run, but I knew this is what I wanted to do. Doing it for just, what did we do, 7 previews and 1 performance, I knew in my heart that I wanted to sing and dance, and I wanted to be on stage night after night after night. But I also wanted to be in a show like the ones around the corner. A hit. So I waited. And I waited. And I waited 10 years, and I got cast by the gods of musical theater in the most anticipated show, what was supposed to be the biggest hit Broadway had seen in years, Merrily We Roll Along. I'm still waiting. No, my 2 merry musicals, Merriwell, Merrily, I just wish they had merrier runs. They were great experiences, I kid you not. It was really, really wonderful. And to be a part of the original Merrily, I mean, what gets better than that? And I do want to give a shout out. I hope you got to see it, or you still will. Lonnie Price directed a brilliant documentary. Best thing ever. So when Jen invited me to participate in this, I thought I would go into my storage facility and dig out my old script, which I brought with me for tonight. I guess you could call this vintage or antique. This is a 1971 script. I haven't seen it in years, but it's filled with handwritten directorial notes from my mother. Share a couple. She directed me. Here, don't laugh or smile. Don't smile. Don't smile again. Here's one. Be sad, almost crying. My beautiful mom. My mother was a stage mother that wasn't a stage mother. She was absolutely wonderful. She schlepped me from audition to commercial shoots on the road and on location. She was the best. And I just want to tell you, being here tonight is just so special for me. This is very personal, because tonight I'm going to sing for you for the first time these songs in 46 years. So, imagine that. I would like to also personally dedicate this to my parents, because they were there at Frank Merriwell. Every performance, they were there at Merrily, and they loved the cast, and they were just a part of everything for me, and they were the most supporting parents while I had my childhood showbiz life. And this is for them, my mom, who guides me, Elaine, and my wonderful dad, Marvin, who is kicking strong at 89. Don't turn his picture to the wall, my friends, not till you're certain how the story ends. Though we all hate this confusion, we shouldn't just jump to the closest conclusion. Don't speak his name behind a frown so huge. Yesterday's friend is not this morning's Scrooge. The times he helped us are too great to recall, so don't turn his picture to the wall. Maybe he remembered some appointment he made previous. Maybe he has fallen in a crevice dark and devious. Has he gone to the forest on a caper to find a sleeping bear to learn the habits of for some science paper? Maybe there's a giant eagle came and grabbed him with his beak. Now he's in a nest with baby eagles on a mountain peak. Or maybe there's a crazy doctor gave him something making him small. So don't turn his picture to the wall. No, that couldn't have happened. No, no, no. Oh, Frank, I'll find you wherever you are. Don't scratch his name from off your Christmas list. He's still our friend and still a Methodist. Think of his good deeds, the big and the small, and don't turn his picture, Frank. Don't turn his picture, Frank. Don't turn his picture to light-hearted when gloomy days come. Look for the happiness ahead. Good times get coming the moment you hum. So hum along and gloom is dead. A cup of sunshine you can borrow straight from tomorrow. Don't mind today's bad news, just substitute your favorite wishes for the future. Start contemplating what's around the next bend. Fate may be waiting, a fortune, a friend. Take troubles in your stride. Life has a pretty side. Look for the happiness ahead. Be optimistic, don't leave it to fate. It's realistic to say life is great. Finding the cheery side, you just may turn the tide. Look for the happiness, not